Why, hello and welcome to another episode of Voice of the Rings. And today we're going to do a Lord of the Rings excursion playlist. So, I want to show you guys about this new mobile game. Now, I do not have sound for it. I'm playing some other Lord of the Rings music I have from another game in the background. So we have some music background. But I would like to show you this game. It's pretty awesome. And I think if you guys want to play it with me, you should play it with me. Super awesome. On the server I'm on. So, first things first, you open the game, give a little pop-up message. This will be here. You'll choose your faction. So you need to make sure you're on the right server and the right faction. So, I have two things, but I'm not playing on server 39 because it's a special thing and I didn't want to do it. So I am Voice of the Rings, of course, my account. I'm on server 55. And I already have it all set up. So I'm going to go ahead and get on that one there. Click the little start ring in the middle. That's going to load that up. Again, it's not going to be super visually great because I'm blowing it up on a screen sharing monitor off from my phone, the game. So, but I want to show you really bad. So this will be two things. I'm going to show you the game, and by the way, I'm the Gondor faction. So you have to be the Gondor faction. But I think the music I picked was appropriate for this. Alright, so anyway, let's do this. I'm gonna shrink it a little bit there. Because it's just a little bit, well, that doesn't work really good. So I need to show you these buttons in a minute. So we're going to go counterclockwise. Okay, so I'm going to show you these buttons real quick, and then I'll blow it up. All right? So the first thing you need to know, right? So you need to be the Gondor faction if you want to play with me and join our group. So, Fellowship, I'm in the Fellowship with Nerd of the Rings, their group, right? It's their guild, right? They call them fellowships in this game. So, if you want to join us, you have to be a server 55 in the Gondor faction. I'm sure it would be okay if you joined us. I think that wouldn't be a problem. We have lots of space. As you can see, we're 13 out of 70, and our limit will grow how many people we can have. So come on over if you want to play with us. So let me just do a quick little thing about the game. We'll go through it together, all right? All right. So I'm going to do this as not only as to show you the game, but also to show you a little bit of learning, right? So let me make it a little bigger for you guys again here. So this button down here in the bottom, right here, see, I'm going to use my mouse occasionally to show you. So that button down here, which is now under my face here, in fact, I'm going to do this for you guys for just a second. All right, not to freak you out. So I'm going to click the Tavern button. We're going to start with that. So I'm just going to go over what everything is real quick for you, all right? So basically, when you're in the Tavern, there's a few things, right? This is where you're going to recruit your heroes, your commanders, right? They're all here, legendary heroes. So if you go to recruit commanders, you get these tokens and items that you can give to them to recruit, right? As you can see, here's all the commanders, right? Let's like, for example, I already have Zollin, but you could give him more to upgrade his stuff. But once you get to a certain level, you get him. I already have him as a commander, right? So, and then you got all these, here's the other ones you get. I already have Gimli and Legolas. I just happen to get them through a special thing I'll show you in a minute. So basically, you need those commanders. They're your main stuff you do. Tips are a way to, these are all finished. See, I have Ori's still working on one. They give XP, and daily in the bottom left, if you see down here, I'll use my mouse, down here in the bottom left, which now my camera's in the way, so hee. This right here is basically, it refreshes once every day. You can also use gems. The resources in this game, I'll talk about this in just a second. Hold on to that. The Red Book of Westmarch is like a puzzle thing you can do, and it gives you some extra loot and stuff in here. It's kind of just an extra thing to do. I don't think it's really super crucial to the game. So then I'm going to go ahead and finish these and claim these because I finished them already, right? So a little bit of done stuff. So actually, as you can see there, it gave me XP towards Awen, right? Getting Awen as a hero, towards Frodo and Sam, which costs a lot. They cost 3,000 to get. You see that little bar, how it's showing how... Now these ones are just going to give flat XP to the people. Oh, I got a helmet. Sweet. All right. Got an axe. Weapons are what your heroes use, right? All right. So, again, now we go to that. So now... Down here in the next one we're going to go up is this one right here. This is basically just a thing that helps guide you what to do next. Guys, this game is you'll learn it really quick. It'll probably take you less than an hour to understand. It's very simple. That guides you through it, that little thing like what to do next kind of thing. So then if you go into here, this is just your notifications, like what you did, how your battle went. There's a little bit more stuff, descriptions if you go after a battle here. Now, of course, you're like, I haven't know anything about the battles yet. Hold on to that for a second, right? I'll try to walk through this without going too fast for you guys. Right here we have, and again, if you don't care about this game, you don't need to know where to watch. Go watch my other videos, guys. Subscribe, like the videos, but go watch my other videos. But if you're big on this game, you needed some help, needed to kind of know what things are, that's great. All right, so this button over here, right? This, let me use my mouse. This one right here. That one's very important, so I'm going to click that. This one is kind of what you have to keep going all the time. So you get a total of 2 queues for buildings. So you can click these and you can do more buildings, right? So this is basically your core structures of how I upgrade things. Again, it's pretty self-explanatory. The main hall, it explains and increases your settlement's durability, how strong it is, health, right? Later you'll be battling. Not when we're starting, everyone's not right now. Storage, how much resources you can hold. Apothecary is how you heal your troops after some get wounded after fights. Some die, some wounded, some don't die. That kind of thing. Barracks, how much you can hold, how many people you can have in your entire game, right? And then you've got lumber. These are all places to give you resources. Lumber, stone gives you resources, ore gives you resources. These are the 4 main resources. And food. The Fellowship Hall is something you upgrade to help you do stuff with the Fellowship. It increases how many times you can help people and stuff, and speed and stuff. So that's important for later. Battlements is another defensive thing. It helps your durability of your settlement. Market is something you can do trading with for certain resources. You have too many of one and you need another one kind of thing. I'll show you where that is in the game. Military Academy helps you increase your command limit for your hero, which means how many troops you can actually have with him in a battle, which makes him overall stronger. You'll know that once I show you fighting in a second, so just hold on to that. And then you have the bow tower, which I don't own yet, but it's another thing that helps protect. It damages people each round they're fighting you, so I think it's something to. Now, since I started as humans, let me move over my camera a little bit for you guys here. So since I started as humans, I have on this one the different the Numenorian quotas, right? So, and then different levels, I can now upgrade spearmen, right? Different levels. At this point when you're here, you can also use gold that you earn. That's another currency, right? So there's 4 material things. There's food, ore, stone, and wood. Those are things you collect you need for building and hiring people and stuff. Gold is for upgrading your troops, right? Which you get from levying, and I'll show you where that is in a second. And gems are like the in-game currency, which you do earn that you can use. So I would recommend only using gems for either getting Matham tokens, which is a lot, it's like 2,000 gems, or using it to get the extra tips, which are the things that give your heroes quests. And they normally refresh every 24 hours in the tavern like I showed you, but sometimes it's good to use it for the tips, okay? So I think it's a good way because if you need to get more XP from more of your heroes, right? See, as you can see, I had 7 done that I accepted in the tavern. That's because I opened a tip. You can only have 4 at a time every day, but I went ahead and had 8 because I opened it once for 200 gems. And I got dwarven quotas now, right? Even though I'm Gondor. So, if your question is, can I not play as dwarves if I am, Gondor or elves? No, that is not the case. You will get them all the units, right? Basically, the only difference is the look of your base, right? When you're in your base. So again, this is outside your base, right? This is the field, all right? And I want to try to get through this without confusing everyone. So you click on your base, right? And you can enter your base. Now you're in your base. The Apothecary is where you heal troops. I have some wounded troops from a fight, so I'm going to say select all right there. And I'm going to say treat, which is actually right underneath right here. All right. So I'm going to say, oh, did you see that? Actually, you didn't see that, did you? Right here. I just realized I clicked the wrong thing. You didn't know what I was clicking. All right, so I'm going to treat them. And then armies. This is very important. So here's all my heroes, which don't have any men with them right now, because the only people that have men are outside of my city right now. So this is where you would outfit your men. So let's say I want Faramir to go fight. He's only had 340 power by himself. That's what that little thing is right here. So you see his level. He's level 17. His power is 340, right? So if I say outfit when I'm clicked on him, here's my troops that I have, right? So I have some dwarves too. So let's say I want to give them these heavy axemen. I can have groups of 3 different units down here. So I could have a horseman, a dwarf, and a ranger. Or I could have Bjornings, Tower Guard, and dwarves, right? But you can have a ton to your limit of whatever your guy can carry. So for example, let's say I give him horsemen. You see how his power went up here? And then also how many were here? But if I pull this thing down, see how it goes down? The power and how many people? So again, I can have up to 3. So I can't drop in a fourth group of horses, right? It won't let me. You can have 3 of type of unit, but I can have as many of those units until his thing is full here. Okay, good. So that's how you arm your troops. And now he's armed with some men, except he doesn't have nearly any men because all my men are with other generals. So out in the field, which you'll see in a second. So the main hall just tells you some things. These here, this is your ring power. How much you get this for capturing the tiles on the map. We'll talk about that. It's like a risk game, guys. Okay, it's like a risk game. Remember that. All right. I know I'm giving you a lot of info, guys, so I'll try to not go too quick, but I don't want to make the video too long. So just, you always ask me questions in the comments. If something is still confusing you, I can type it out a little bit more clearly in a comment if you're confused on how I say it. Lands is how many actual squares you can have on the map at a time. This goes up when you upgrade your base. I have 54. I could have up to 61 right now. This is how much my income is per turn and how much I can actually hold, right? That's upgraded by your storage, right? So now, wait, I gotta go back in here. So you know what all those are. So the levy is just, this is just an hourly thing. I haven't used gems to upgrade the levy thing. Oh, apparently I have to eat. My reminder is telling me I need to go eat my food. All right. But if I want to levy here, I click levy, and it gives me some gold. See how it made my resources of gold go up? All right, so that's how you make your gold. It's just every couple, like say 48 minutes, I'll be able to do another one. You can have up to 5 stacks ready overnight or whatever. The market, this is very important. The market is where, so this is, you can trade stuff. I would recommend not using your gems for these. You could, if it's really cheap, like 3 gems, maybe it's worth it. You know what I mean? That's up to you. But then this button here, barter, this is where you can switch resources. You can choose a resource you want on the right and what you want to sell on the left. You do lose a lot of the left one, though. You see, look, I gain 28 of that, but I lose 58,000 thing. I'm not going to do that right now. But if you really need some resources, that's a good way to trade. Or you have abundance of one and need the other one kind of thing, right? It's just not very efficient. You do upgrade that later, though. When you upgrade the market, that efficiency gets better. Now, if you click this one in the bottom left here, right here, Barracks, this is how you recruit men. So first you have to build your places, right? So let's wait. Before we do that, let's go to this build button right here, right? It's the same way. You notice it's the same way I got to the other thing, right? So little trick, if you want to get to these, again, I have to build these, right, to upgrade certain units. So now I can build spearmen, but how do I recruit the spearmen? I go to the barracks, right? Not the armory. The armory behind the levy thing is something different, right? The armory over here is, oh, you can drag and move the city. The armory is where you tell what men are going with which generals. The barracks is where you hire people, right? So you can sort what you want to see right here on the bottom left. But basically, the big thing you need to see is the fact that you have a hire. To hire things, I've not done it yet. Like, it's like hiring Bjornings because you can't conscript them. You have to have a tile owned that's a Bjorning tile. Okay, so I think that's how that works. But you just click this, and let's say I want a couple rangers. I drag that up. I want a couple of these, 200 of them, and I want 105 horsemen, and I check mark. It costs money there. At the bottom, you could see the amounts down there, right? And now you can have up to 3 people, different groups of people training at once. Again, looked at this little thing right here, right? This is the same thing that was on the other page. Now you can see I'm upgrading one building, right? And I'm training those 3 different groups of people, and I'm treating people in my medical place. So these are good to make sure you check this control panel all the time. Again, that control panel is right here on the main screen too. Okay? All right, good. Next thing we need to know, we're going to talk about, so this one is basically right here, the sword. We're just going to keep going up. This is basically just objectives that you can get over time. You finish things and you just claim stuff. So just check it occasionally. A little red dot will show up on it if you can't. By the way, you can't see it. The sword is what I was opening, or up here. And then this one is just the place you can, spend real cash if you want to. Right? There's things that are worth and things that aren't worth. I think the things that are worth is the construction quarry. Having a third thing for a month. It's only $5 and it gives you some points. Like, if you're playing a lot, might be worth. That's up to you. I'll give it up to you. You don't need that. It's not really pay to win so far this game. I really like that. I got this monthly thing where I get a thing every day. It was like $10 and $5. But again, I was really getting into the game. I wanted to invest some money into it, but I only spent like $25. You know what I mean? Like all together. So you don't have to do that though. It's not necessary. It's not pay to win, which is really nice. All right. Next thing we need to do is let's talk about this top panel. Okay. So the gear right here. The gear is going to be for your account. You can put your little info there. See, I'm Zollin. My YouTube channel is Voice of the Rings. One of my favorite YouTubers is Nerd of the Rings. Yes, Yes, both my channel and Nerd of the Rings are probably some of my favorite Lord of the Rings channels, and Men of the West. That's a really good one too. And there's a couple more. I actually like. I'm a part of a YouTube group now of Tolkien YouTubers, and everyone's channels are awesome. Like I like all of them. You should check them all out. By the way, if you go and watch my Hobbit Day video celebration, it's in a playlist with all the other YouTubers where we did a collaboration. All of us, like I don't know, like 20 of us. You should check them all out. Check out their channels out too. It's really awesome. But anyway, if you want to come join us, I'm sure it would be okay with the Nerd of the Rings group if some of our Voice of the Rings members joined us. So just let me know. I have not actually asked, but I'm pretty sure it'd be fine because if you look at our fellowship, we are 13 out of 70. So have a couple more Lord of the Rings fans playing those would be nice. And then over here you have your gems at the top, right? You have your gold. Now you can see right here this 56 added. This is very handy. If you tap that with your finger, it brings up this and shows you all the land tiles you own and what powers they are and what resources they give. Good to know. Keep that in mind. This one right here, ability points, that little red one right here, this is something that you will use for heroes. Every hero has individual energy, but your account has this as its energy, right? You can have up to 20 and it recharges over the day. It is used mainly for mock battles and harvesting, gathering. And how you do that is by typing any tile you own later, right? Let's say I tap this one right here, right? This thing comes up, build, I could build a fort on it. I'm not going to do that. I can move an army to it. But then mock battle, if I click that and I click a hero that has an army, and then I can click down here at the bottom and you can see it costs 1 of that daily energy. It costs 20 of the general stamina. It costs a little bit of food, and then it takes this much time, and it's this far away to travel to it, right? And it would be 10 minutes. Now, if I want to bump that up, let's say I did that for 60 real minutes, right? Faramir will get 36,000 XP. It'll cost 6 of my daily things, right? And then it'll cost 22 that much food, and it'll cost all his stamina to do that, right? For the day. But his stamina will recharge over a couple hours, right? For that particular hero. But this is like your account stamina. This is your hero stamina, right? Each hero has their own stamina. Make sense? Makes sense? Good, good, good. So that's what you use those for. And then also you do gathering. If you click the gathering button there when you're on it, same thing. You click on your guy. If you look at the bottom again, it'll cost those your count points, your character's points, and then you'll get a certain amount of resources. It will, see how it says duration -1% right here? See that? That will actually go down if he has more troops. So let's say I did Zollin instead. See how they went to -20? Made the time faster because he has a lot more troops to help gather the materials, right? That's the logic behind that. All right, good, good, good. We know how to do those now. Now, the next thing at the top there, we're going to talk about this one right here, right? All right, we're just going to kind of sit right here in the middle. I actually like that. Just cover that stuff up. Perfect. You click that very middle button. This is the progression of what everyone is doing. These are objectives the whole server is already finished, okay? So this is things we finished. We're doing this right now. We're claiming areas of the map. We will get to the map. Hold on to that. If you go over to challenge, you can go to here, and then you will get a special thing every day no matter what. If you buy the pass that's $15, you get an extra thing, but you really don't need to do that. It's just extra stuff if you want to. So let's see. I completed 20 tips this week or whatever. Now I can claim some more rewards. See, and I got a Matham token too. I'll show you what those are in a second. There we go. Target. So if you go to target, you go over here to info and it'll tell you stuff about after the season, what you will keep, what you won't keep, because we're in season 1 right now. It just started the game, right? It's not even a week old. Ta-da. Boom, boom. Got it. Next thing, your food and all this stuff up here, right? You can click on it to see your productions and what's going on. What are you getting from fellowship bonuses, ring buff bonuses, structures that you're building in your base, faction production, and land bonuses. So obviously a lot of my money comes from lands I own, right? Per tile. Now again, let me talk about lands. This is an important part now that we're done with that top bar, right? So let's say I'm going to take this piece of land right here. I'm going to tap it, right? So this is a very basic piece of land. It gives you 1 ring power per hour, which is something down here, which we'll talk about in a minute. We're going counterclockwise around the whole entire thing. Okay? All right. So just hang on to that. I'm going to take a deep breath because I've been talking straight for almost 20 minutes and it's making my throat hurt. I'm trying to do it quickly, but I'm trying not to leave things out where you guys are like, wait, what? And it's so much info. So you can pause and think about things and look at stuff before you keep going. But I'm trying to give you all the info I remember. So as you can see right here, it tells me that about the thing. It has 1 ring power. It's got 1 defense. It's army defending it as puny, right? There's always an enemy army defending it, right? 50 of all these a turn. blah, blah, blah. If I say march upon it, I choose a hero. It's going to cost down here in the bottom 20 mana or stamina. It'll take 52 seconds for him to get there. Its battle power of the place is 130. His is 1054. He'll take it no problem. That's why it says green negligible. If it says challenging or deadly and it's red, that you'll probably see that this number is way more. I found this out, you guys. Numbers matter as in the discrepancy of how big a difference. So for example, if it is 10,000, let's say the enemy's one is 10,000, right? So I'll just show you one. Let's say I go to this one, right? I'm going to march on it, right? So it's 45,000, right? So terrifying. I would get destroyed. See how my power is 13,000 on my strongest army right now? I cannot take a 200 power land yet, which is a tier. It says the tier level when I click on it. It's a tier 10 tile. See how the X is right here? But it will give me 1,000 wood an hour and 200 of this faction. I think that's what that is. Not actually sure what is that. I think it's a faction thing or something. But we'll hang on to that for a second. I haven't gone that far in the game yet. See, I'm still learning stuff too. Again, so we go to Zollin, right? So it says terrifying. So if I was at 42,000, it would probably still say I wasn't gonna win very good. I might have a good chance of winning if my hero's strong, but I'm going to have great losses of troops. So out of my, what is that, like 1,300, 1,500 men there between these three numbers, right, of men, I would lose a lot. If it was even on par, we were both 45,000 power, I would lose a decent amount, but it wouldn't be nearly as bad of a destroy. If I had slightly more, you don't lose as much, which is interesting, right? So if you're overwhelmingly stronger than the tile, you don't lose nearly as many troops that will either die or go to the wounded price and you have to heal them in the apothecary, right? Okay, good. Good to know. So that's how fighting attacking works, right? In fact, I'm going to take this 90 wood thing here. So, or no, wait, am I going to take that one? Where's Zollin? Yes, I am going to take that one. So I'm going to have him march, Zollin, and see, I have almost 13,000 advantage, so I'm going to go ahead and march him in there. We'll talk about that once he gets there. See, he's going to take a while to get there, 1 minute and 32 seconds of real time. So now let's talk about the map in the top left. Okay, guys, let's talk about the map. So, you know what? I want to skip one thing real quick. We're going a little farther down the thing. This banner right here, if you click this banner, this will immediately bring you to my armies. And if you click on these little buttons here, so this button will take you to the armory, which is inside your base, right? Which is another way to get to it, right? This button, so I'm going to go over to Gimli over here. He actually needs reinforcements. Also, you notice the button popped up here. Forgive my alert thing, sorry. The button popped up here too. So I can click either of those little hand buttons where they're holding together. And I can click this button down here. Oh, it's right on the picture, sorry. Right here. Boop. And if you notice, see how it says plus 35, plus 1 to 6, and it filled up his thing? And I can say check, I can do that. What happens is you actually send reinforcements. He can't move while you're doing it. But I'm sending reinforcements to fill up his army, right? After a battle, he hadn't lost some men, right? So, good to know. And his wounded got sent to Apothecary, which I already healed. And if I look right here, let's see, they're being healed. They're being treated. So if I move my thing here, they're being treated, right? And then I have an extra, I have open queues. I could be building more buildings right now, which I will be doing in a minute, but we're finishing the video. All right, so those are good to know. Again, that button, guys, this button right here is so important to be checking all the time. You're going to do one thing when you pop on to check it, because this game's kind of like, you need to check it every couple hours. This one. When you first play it, you play it for a good hour or two, but then there's going to be times you have to wait 3 or 4 hours for things to recharge or build. So then you turn it off, you know, and they just keep going in the background, right? When you're not on. That kind of thing. All right, anyway. Oh, and we occupied the land. So we gained, if you see right here, by the way, I forgot about talking about this, the ring power number. See, it went up by 90, so that's good. What I get per hour of ring power. We'll talk about ring power in a second. So if I look here, there he is, right? So Dwellin's there. So I'm going to go over to the little button underneath my picture here, this one, the messages, and I'm going to see the battle details, okay? So the battle details look great, right? So these are pretty good for me. As you can see, all his people died. We lost this little red bar. So now if I go down to this button down here, there's a statistics button right past under my camera. Sorry, you didn't even see where I did that because I don't have a mouse in the right place. Right here. It's right underneath my camera here. If I click that button, you can look at this statistics thing, and you can see how many of theirs died, how many of ours died, how many were wounded, right? So we lost 98 men to death, and 64 of them got wounded, went to the apothecary, right? But pretty much my whole army was intact out of my 96,000 troops, right? Or power. I guess it's power, because those numbers don't add up to 96,000. for actual troops, right? This is how many actual troops died. Power is a little different than the actual number of troops. Okay, good, good, good. So now you kind of know how that works with battling. Again, that little flag up here in the corner is a fast way to get to your troops. And again, you could go into your base here, enter, and then go to the armory, right? Tap the armory, and that's another way to get to this one. Or you can click this little flag, and you can click, that's the one to get men to your troops, or this one to get to the armory quickly and work on them, right? Good, good, good. Awesome, awesome. That stupid alert keeps coming up. Forgive me, my Voice of the Rings members. All right, so here we go. So now we got our troops here. This is the callback button. So let's say I want to have Gimli come back. I don't want him to come back right now, but if I did this, I could have him come back to our main base, right? And then I could work on him, right? So speaking of that, working on Gimli, right, and Dwalin, we're going to go down to commanders, okay? So this is a new button we're going to talk about since we didn't do this one. Basically, this is where you're going to level up your commanders. They're all going to have trees. So here, we'll just do it with Dwalin, right? So it doesn't go overboard with this. So basically, you have your armor right down here. So if you click on this, you can choose new armor pieces. You can strengthen armor by clicking it, and then clicking if you have another piece of armor, you can use it to combine and make it more powerful, right? That's kind of how that works. And then you can also go to portrait, this little star over here in the corner, and then go to points down there, and then basically this is your tree, right? And different things help you with different things. For example, he gives speed and defense to the army. See, and it says in parentheses army versus, let's say this one, experienced warrior. The commander does more damage. So the commander actually does damage. Dwalin does, right? Or let's say this one over here, relief. An allied unit with the highest defense, probably one of your tank units, your front line, recovers 130% health. Effective. So there's a battle phase. You can actually watch the battles if you want to, which is kind of cool, right? There's a way to watch the battles, which is pretty kind of cool. That we talked about that. I want to quickly talk about the map. We're almost done, guys. I've almost given you the almost every layout on the board here. We're going to tap the map. Here's the map, right? All the places. This server doesn't have all the people. They don't have the high elves over here and the hobbits and stuff on the left side over here. But these are all the different places. It's really cool. So I'm here. See, I'm located there. If I open this thing here, I could go to, let's say I want to go over. So there's Gondor, right? So I could just go into Gondor, go to Gondor. So there's Gondor. So that's pretty epic, right? Freaking Gondor. We need some more Gondor music. What happened to our Gondor music? All right. So we got Gondor, right? So then the map, one more thing you need to know about the map. So see that little castle button right here? This will always bring you back to your base. If you're lost on the map, just tap that. Find your base again. There's a little button to search for supplies. This is very handy. So that, again, that button I just clicked was this one, this little right there. All right, so I tap that, brings this up. So now let's say you're looking for a certain tile and you're like, I want a wood tile that's 90 power, right? I'm gonna search. Oh, well, I own it already. Oh, look at that. See, it's glowing right there with Dwalin on it. There's another one. Oh, I own that one too, right? And it matters where your camera is. So if I move the camera out to this open area over here, and I tap it, it's going to find stuff here, but that guy already owns it. Now, the way tiles work, guys, with capturing, you also do that with mods and mobs. Find certain guys to fight, and they'll give you resources on the map. Like, here's a troll you can fight, right? You can send your troops to fight this troll. That kind of stuff. So a thing you can do is, if you notice, you actually have to be touching a square to keep going. The square. So the way that works is if everyone in your faction is your ally. So since this guy already had squares touching, this purple person over here, right? I was able to take these because they were touching, right? Otherwise I'd have to move out from here, and then later I could click on a thing and see how it has all these different buttons, right? Oop, 1 second, let me fix that. Sometimes it likes to shut off. All right, problem solved. So the tiles, if you click on them, they're not only are there these options, right? Mock battle, build. Forts, by the way, will extend how far you can build. Okay, I know I'm giving you so much information, okay? So this is all stuff I've been learning over the last 3 days. So if you click the map up here again, you see that circle, that dotted line circle around my base? If I built a fort out farther, like out here, it'll increase another dotted line, which how far I can be from my base. So even though you might have friends out here, you won't be able to build tiles out there, is my guess. I haven't gotten that far in the game yet, but that's my guess what forts are used for. So you could build a fort, right? You can click that and I could build a fort here, and it gives you a little description about forts, what they're for, that kind of stuff. Ta-da. See? It actually increases your movement range too. Pretty cool. There's your info right there. All right. Good, good. But we're not going to worry about that right now. So what if you take a base and you need to get more room up here? You want more slots because you want to get a higher level ring power in place instead of your stupid 1 ring power turn. Well, all you do is click that little X right there. See the little X right here? You can also, this is share location. You can share the location to people. Right there, see I could send it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to click that X and not send that. You can also pink tab it, which means if you go up to this button here now by your map, up there in the top left, and click that, you can find that pinged thing. But I'm going to unping it because I don't want it. Pin it. And then there's also this flag one, which you could give info to it and put a flag on it with more info, I believe. But I'm going to click that X and I'm going to go, yes, it takes 30 minutes to get rid of it. And then I'll lose its benefits. I'll lose its 1 whatever an hour, and it's 50 for the resources there, all this info. But that's okay because I'll have another slot, and I go take one that's a 9, you know, like this. A 60 that gives me 500 of this resource a turn and 60 of power a turn. Okay, good, good, got it. Sweet, you guys are doing great. Man, this video is going a lot longer. I forgot there's so much info in this, but it's good for you guys to know, and I really want to show you the game. So now we're going to talk about the Fellowship. We've talked about the Commander panel. Well, let's talk about the Fellowship, okay? So this is all about the group you join. Normally you'll have a different picture if you're not in a group yet, so you'll be able to find our group. You can find it. Searching didn't find it. What we had to do is actually I had to scroll down to find Nerd of the Rings, and then request to join, and then either me or our main leader of the group of this guild will invite you, Fellowship, okay? So a few things here. This help button, a little button will occasionally appear above here. You click to help your allies, right? And I can, oh, there's one right now, right? One that I can help. So I'm going to go help her. I'm not sure where the button was in there, but I helped her anyway. So then members, this shows everyone that's in the group, shows their power levels and stuff. My other account has such a higher power level, but I moved because I wanted to play with everyone on this server. That's how it goes. That's how many times you've contributed and helped people building things, right? That kind of stuff. And then fortresses, that's when we're building fortresses. They are available, but we haven't built any yet as a Fellowship. The store, this is where you can use points that you earn from being in the Fellowship to buy these resources. I would use them. They're just cool things. This one is a moving. You can move where your base is on the map. So that's kind of cool, which you will need to use later, which I think if you move, you'll keep your tiles there, but then you'll have to rebuild in that area, you know, with more tiles, that kind of thing. I'm not sure. I haven't moved yet, so I don't know that one for sure, but my guess is you keep your tiles. But you probably want to keep them too far away. You probably want to get rid of a lot of them and start getting higher level if that's where you're moving to get better tiles, right? Buffs. This is buffs. We don't have any yet, but we can have buffs later as a Fellowship. We're level 14 Fellowship right here. All right. May the best wolf win, indeed. I love that. Put that. That's great. All right. So that's our leader, Dev. Wait, is that? I should make sure I say his name correctly. Yeah, there's his name right there, our leader. And he was gracious enough to make me one of the officers, since I did have a Fellowship on the other server, but I decided I want to play with people I actually know and want to hang out with, not just random people in the game. All right, so good, good, good. Now we know all that. Let's see, items. This is where you have your items. This is the armor things I have. Items that are the things turn in to get heroes, that kind of stuff. These are speed up things which you can use when you're like, let's say I go to this little tab over here again, right? This tab right here. And let's say I want to speed this up. See the little lightning bolt? I can click that lightning bolt. I can use the speed ups, right? Again, be careful. You actually have some, right? If you go down and some of these, like, see, I'd have to pay for them with those. But you can if you want. You could do that. Okay, I just realized I math them, right? So this is something that you will earn these over time. You'll get a free one daily of the rare treasure where you can open this. See where it says 200? This will normally be a free one once a day. It'll reset. Just like the Tavern will reset 4 tips a day. But you also earn these tokens. See, I have some earned already, the Matham tokens. And you can turn, I would recommend turning in 5. You can also go up to this wish list thing and choose what you want to get for your special reward, what heroes it will reward you, right? See, it shows right there what heroes. Oh, no, it doesn't because I'm in a way. What heroes that one would give, what that one would did. I have this one because I'd rather get these. Well, I'm actually going to switch in now because I have a lot of those heroes. Yeah, I have all those heroes, so I'm just going to keep it on for A1 just in case. All right. So anyway, now you kind of know what that is. So you can choose that. These are just some extra ones you can use right here. So I did open this enough times. I got enough points to actually get Gandalf, which was kind of cool. You can earn Gandalf other ways too, of course. But there we go. Anyway, yep. Other way you do stuff. So we're done on that side. The last thing we didn't really talk about was down here. So we have the ring, right? So you're going to occasionally have to click on this to claim your ring power that you're earning up here, right? This ring number, right? So you're going to click that, and it's going to absorb into your ring down there. Now if I click on the ring in the bottom left, this opens a tree. This is very handy. Okay, so then you click this down here, and see there's where your power is per day, right? Which I don't know if you can increase this with any of these in the tree, but possibly. I'm not sure. I haven't looked through all the tree yet. So if you click on this fire thing, then it'll pump the points in. See at the bottom, it actually did level me up. It gave me a point just like the dwarves, right, do. The heroes do to put in their tree. So now I have 1 point. I'm actually going to put it into levy. So I'm going to increase levy. Now, if you notice, I wanted to get to levy fast so I get more gold. So what I did was I only put 1 point into this one and then this one, so I can get to this one. It opens it up immediately. You don't have to do all the points into this one to get to the next one. That's an important thing for you all to know. All right. So that's about it. Now, if you click on this on the bottom here, the words, this is the communication panel, right? So you have world faction. You tap faction. This is everyone in your faction, right? The world, everyone in the world, everyone in your faction, people that are recruiting. Though, of course, you're going to join our group, right? If you join, so of course. So you just come over and find us. And then fellowship, everyone in your guild, fellowship talking, pretty fun. Announcements, if they do announcements in the fellowship. This will be over here. This one on the top will be individual conversations with people, right? Friends or whatever. And when you add people, if you want to add people, there is a button down here, this 3-dot button. This is really important. You click this. This is where you can add people. You can where you get request. Go away, stupid reminder. Go. Shoot. Okay, there we go. Requests, and then list is actually, this is your friends list, right? This is people that you actually have added as a friend on that server, on that account, right? So important to know. By the way, if there's some weird reason you want to have 2 accounts on both, I found out with the same Google account, I could play on 2 different servers with 2 different names at the same time if I logged into them at the same time. I could not log into the same account on 2 different devices. Just a good little thing for you all to know, right? I think we did it. I think I talked about everything. My throat is dry and hoarse, and I hope this helped some of you guys out there. Appreciate a like and subscribe. Be awesome, because that took a lot out of my voice. I think I went through everything clearly. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's really important. You also click the summon button on your base to summon armies back that are on the field. If you don't know where they are, it's a fast way to get them back. Yeah, well, seems like we went through every single button on the screen. I talked about some mechanics with fighting, how the numbers do matter. Important to remember, guys. If you're just under, you're gonna lose a lot more troops than being right on. And if you're over their power when you attack a tile, you'll lose way less troops. So that's important. Yeah, we did it. That's about it. I might do a couple timestamps for you guys, but realistically, I think this video, it's going to be kind of hard to do timestamps because I kind of just went counterclockwise through the entire thing. It's going to be kind of like crazy to do timestamps, but I guess I could do a couple. Yeah. All right, my friends. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And again, this is Voice of the Rings, a Lord of the Rings excursion playlist. Kind of turned into a guide, but I thought I'd put it on this instead of a LOTR guide because LOTR guide is more about Lord of the Rings Online. So, and this is about other games. I'd really like it if you guys want to play with me. Again, I am on server 55, Gondor faction. We are in the Fellowship Nerd of the Rings, not Voice of the Rings, Nerd of the Rings, because I'm with my friend's group, right? So from his channel, which again, check out his channel too, please. Like and subscribe to this channel, and then go over to Nerd of the Rings and like and subscribe to his channel, because they're all awesome, right? And everyone else in our little Lord of the Rings group. All right. So, a lot of Lord of the Rings YouTubers out there, and we're all in a little group. So we had a little collaboration thing, which I mentioned at the beginning of this video, so don't forget that. All right, my friends, again, that was about it. I wanted to go through, and you can click there and see some more info about your hero when you tap straight on him. Please, please leave some comments. Later, I'll probably learn a little bit more, and if I figure something out in more detail that's important, or I already gave you the little, like, hint things, like especially clicking on this is good because you can find where your tiles are quicker and what tiles you have, where they are. That's really nice. The battle tips. Again, doing tips. Sorry. The tip thing over here, these do not cost your hero's stamina to do. So, if you use your hero to fight and use all his stamina up, right? So, again, let's go to the flag up here, right? See how they all have stamina? See how Dwalin's only at 35 stamina? So, if he's out of stamina, I could really remove his troops, make him go to bed. He has to go back to base. Remove his troops, and then send him on a tip. Do that for 2 hours while I'm using some other hero to fight and give him the troops, right? Though he is my most powerful leader, he can hold the most troops right now because he's the highest level, right? And he's a very good fighter, leader. Some heroes have special abilities that are better for tips than others. Another good thing for you to remember. Good little tip. See what I did there? All right. Anyway, my friends, thanks again for joining me. I hope that helped you out. You guys all have a wonderful day in Middle-earth, and I will see you in the next episode of Voice of the Rings. And my little subscribe button is going to pop up right here, and there will be another video in this player list over there, and our main playlist, LOTR, will be right over there. So check them on out, my friends. See you later. Have a wonderful day in Middle-earth, and I hope to see you in Lord of the Rings, Rise to War.